A deeper look at Microsoft OneNote. Welcome to today's webinar. Maybe you've checked out OneNote before, and you've already discovered some of the cool features that it has to offer. Well, in today's webinar, my goal is to guide you through some of the exciting features, like inserting documents or files into your notebook, even sending items from other applications, other Microsoft applications, to OneNote. You may have lots of content in your notebook, but it isn't very well organized. I'll show you some tips on how to organize your notebook in a way that makes sense. I'll show you how to use annotations, even handwriting, which I think is very cool, especially if you're using a tablet. You'll also learn how to share your notebook with others and collaborate on the same document even at the same time, because it syncs really well. Navigate your notebook with the use of internal hyperlinks and reach out to web pages with external hyperlinks. This digital notebook or binder is one of the best ways to keep everything in one place. So, some of the things I'm going to go over today include, again, inserting documents and files. We'll organize. I'll show you how to integrate OneNote with other applications. We'll talk about hyperlinks, share and collaborate, among a few other things. First, I'm going to talk about inserting documents and files. So once you've put in some basic content, you're going to want to make your notebook a little bit more robust. So I'm just going to show you, I created just this very basic notebook with some sections on the top and some pages. I'll just kind of guide you through this. Got company events. Here's an example of a template, which I think templates are a great way to not really have to start from scratch, and then you can fill in stuff as needed. I've got a personal one. Okay, I've got a little to-do list. I've even got some ideas for summer camps for the kids maybe. Some of my favorite restaurants, I could put things like menus in here, and I'm going to show you how we can drag in PDFs. So even if you got a menu online for your favorite restaurant, you can actually drag it right in and place it in your notebook here. And I've got a contact section, maybe some business or personal contacts. So this is just a basic outline. And this meeting notes, for example, has a lot of different pages, and you can see we have a lot of different sections on the top. So we're going to work on organizing and also placing a little bit more content in here to make it more interesting. So we've got that basic content in, and I'm going to click on the Insert tab. Now, certainly this gives us lots of different choices to make our notebook even better. Maybe I'll begin by inserting tables. So I could insert a table here by clicking on this drop down, and this is kind of cool. I can actually pick my dimensions right here. So maybe I'll do a table that size. And there it is. Now I can just begin typing if I want. I'll put in, Monday, Tuesday. And I'm just pressing the Tab key to navigate. If I press Enter, it's going to create a little extra space, so I don't really want to do that. I'll probably just click here, and I can certainly tab across or Shift Tab, and I'm going to go backwards. And if I wanted this to grow a little bit more, I could just press Tab, and I'm going to create another row. So that's helpful. This is very much like inserting a table in Word. Now, notice when I'm in this table, I'm actually clicked on the object, it's active, I get a Table Tools Contextual tab right on the top here. So this is a Layout tab, and these contextual tabs pop up in every Office application. Pretty much when we want to work on that object, we're going to get a special tab, or I can do things like select or delete items that maybe I don't want. Maybe I just want to delete this bottom row. I could do that. I'm going to click back on the object, and that tab comes back. Now I can certainly insert above or below, left or right, etc. I can even do shading, some alignment, sorting. I can even convert this to an Excel spreadsheet if I'd like to. So I can edit that table using Excel. So one of the cool things about this is OneNote integrates so well with all the other Office applications. So if I want to maybe delete this, I just click on it, press the delete key. Very, very easy to do. So let's just say I want to add some sort of file attachment. I can certainly click Insert and then File Attachment. And I can reach out somewhere, maybe on my desktop. Got some documents right here. Maybe I want to insert monthly expenses here, this Excel document. So I can double click or click on it once and click Insert. And then I get this little pop-up, this little dialog box, insert file. So I could attach the file, I could attach the spreadsheet, or insert a chart or table if that's what it happened to be. So I'm just going to click insert spreadsheet. This takes a quick second to pull that in. And here I get this little box here that I can move around. Remember, nothing's glued down, nothing's set in stone. I can always move things around here. So I can go in and have this and present this maybe at my team meeting. We're going to discuss expenses. So I've got this here. Once we discuss those expenses, maybe I'll just check that off. And maybe we've got some new staff to meet. I've actually got a section up here where we have new staff. All right, so that's how we could insert a file. Now I could certainly click back on meeting notes and bring in an existing Excel spreadsheet or create a new one right here in OneNote. So those are my other options. I actually chose to insert the file attachment that way with the paperclip that time. So what I'm going to do is show you another way. So I'm going to go to New Staff. So I've created this section on top. I'm going to have this orientation memo. Now I've got a section for Employee Handbook, which I can bring in. And then these are my new staff members. And I could certainly bring things in there, maybe information about their new employment, and keep that all together in one place, maybe some documents that they've needed to submit. It's really great. We can actually bring those right in. So let's see, I'm going to go to orientation memo. One thing I can do that I think is pretty cool is actually drag and drop. So I'm actually dragging from my other screen, and I'm just going to drop it in, and I'm going to insert the printout of an orientation memo that's a PDF. And there it is. Okay, orientation memo. This is a PDF. This is something we might have. We might want to have that in our notebook in our new staff section. Okay, great way to keep those all together. And you know, if I wanted to, I could put in a date stamp or a time stamp or a date and time stamp. So that's great. Maybe if you're taking some notes during a meeting and you just want to capture the exact date and time of that, you can do that just with a click of a button. So I've brought in some expense reports. I've got this new staff memo, and maybe I want to bring in the employee handbook. Now, I could drag and drop that in. That would be totally acceptable. But what I want to do is actually show you how I can open up Word. I'll drag that over. How I can open up Word, and here's just an example of an employee handbook. Now, you've probably noticed that OneNote is actually kind of like a printer. I can click on File and Print. Just remember I'm in Word right now. And look at this. There's a printer choice, Send to OneNote 2013. Now certainly I could print this to paper, but I want to put this in my digital notebook so I can access this from anywhere. And later on I'm going to show you how we can share this, put this in the cloud. And you can put this on your shared network if you want to, as long as everybody has permissions to a particular folder, like your work shared network. I'll show you how we can sync those, and multiple people can work on those at the same time and sync up everything. So I'm noticing a question here on the question pane. Yes, you can put that on your shared network, absolutely. So anyway, here we've got printer, send to OneNote 2013. Here's a preview of my employee handbook, and I just want to put that in OneNote. So I'm going to print it to OneNote. Just going to click print. And then I get to pick. Okay, I get this little select location. So it doesn't just print. I mean, we could put it in Quick Notes and then put it somewhere later. That's sort of a temporary little area where we can drag and drop things in. But I want to put it on the current page. I just happen to be there. But, you know, if I wanted to put it somewhere else, I could click these little pluses to expand, or I can collapse and hide those. So I could pick somewhere else or even put it in a different notebook. But since I happen to be on this page, it makes it a little bit easier. I'm just going to click Employee Handbook, Current Page. Click OK. And there we go. We've got our Employee Handbook in the Employee Handbook page, and I've got my orientation memo. So things are looking pretty good, and you can see how easy this is. Now again, with these, I could actually, you know, drag in some other documentation that maybe I have for these new people. So there we go. Now, let's say I want to insert a picture. All right, maybe I want to go to company events. And we've got a holiday party, and here we have the location for our annual meeting. You see I've dropped in a picture, let's say at the Hilton in Burlington, Vermont. We were going to have an annual meeting. I've actually put a hyperlink right here to the website, which I think is very cool. I'm going to talk about this in a few minutes, but I might as well just show you right now. If I click on this, I'm reaching out to the website. Okay, so then people can find out more information. Maybe they want to book rooms. If we're sharing this, and this makes it very easy to communicate with people who have permission to view this notebook. So I just wanted to point that out. That's one example of an external hyperlink, and I just threw in a picture. So maybe I want to drop in, we'll do company events. I'm just going to click. I can either do a screen clipping. Okay, this takes a snapshot of a screen. This is kind of like using the snipping tool, which you could certainly use and then copy and paste right into OneNote. I can grab pictures. Okay, maybe I want to go and add this picture of a sunset, because we all know beautiful sunsets on Lake Champlain. So this tells me right there. Actually, I'm going to undo that. And I think I'm going to click down here and insert that picture there. So you can't really mess this up. You can always just do it again, delete. So there we go. And if I click on it, I can actually resize that. And maybe I'll place this up here. That's how easy it is to insert a picture. Now that's a picture from my computer, or I could reach out to my network. Also, there's online pictures. Now this is basically clip art. Okay, I can go to office.com, insert some clip art. Maybe I could just type in a keyword, let's say. Go out and add an image. Okay, this one happens to be very small, so maybe I could enlarge that. And there we go. I've added an image very easily from online pictures. Now there are a few more choices. 2013 allows us to access some additional things like Bing image search. Bing is a Microsoft search engine, and OneDrive, so we can actually go, you can see I'm logged in as student 1, and I could go out to my personal OneDrive, browse out and grab photographs or images from there. I can also, this is new, I can also link to Facebook or to Flickr, and I can bring images in from there. So certainly lots of different choices for inserting pictures. And then we have scanned images. All right, so a lot of good things in here. I'm actually going to go to personal. So just because I know I've got some white space here. One thing I want to show off is this draw tab. I think this is great. So maybe I'm talking to my wife about, hey, what are we going to do for summer camps for the kids? And I'm sharing this this notebook with her. I can maybe say, well, you know, I'd really like to send them to adventure camp. And my next choice is going to be gymnastics camp. And I might want to highlight that. I've got lots of different highlighter choices. I've got some favorite pens. I also have some built-in pens. I can go and do, handwriting or use a pointer. Lots and lots of different choices in here, and I can modify these with this button right here. But what I want to show you, and let's see if this actually works. It works better if you have a tablet. Okay, maybe in a stylus. But I'm going to try this with my mouse. I'm just going to write my name. Yes, this is with the mouse. That one might not work. But ink to text. Nope. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. I wish I had a stylus right now. J-O-N. There we go. That one actually works, so that's great. So I'm going to press escape, and look at this. I actually have my name, and I just wrote it very crudely on this page, as you saw with my mouse. And I was able to use this cool little feature, ink to text. Now you can also do ink to math. Okay, this one's pretty interesting. You can actually convert any handwritten mathematical expressions to text. So OneNote's pretty cool. It's a pretty smart program. Wrote my name, so maybe you're in a meeting and you've got your tablet and you're jotting down some notes. All you have to do if you want to make that actually typed out text is click on that ink to text button. Now we can also add shapes. So maybe I'll choose this red pen and I can add in some shapes. I can add in maybe some arrows. I've got lots of different choices, and certainly I can do different annotations that way. Okay, so I just wanted to show off that draw, and I think the ink to text is pretty cool because a lot of people have touchpads now, and a lot of people are using mobile devices to attend meetings, especially things like iPads. Now, I use my iPhone and OneNote all the time. The app is free. Okay, you can download the app, and it will sync very, very well with one that might be on your desktop computer or your laptop or any computer you might have, and you can have it in your pocket or in your bag all the time. I do this. I've created OneNote notebooks, and with the sync feature, which I'll show you a little bit later on, it's very, very easy to use. So next, I'm just going to talk about organizing your notebook. So here, as you know, we create lots and lots of sections. We can get excited and just sort of have too many. There's a lot of them. So one way to organize this as I scroll through here, maybe meeting notes. I've talked about this before, but I think it's worth mentioning again. I've talked about this in other videos, but it is sort of an entry-level thing, but as you become more and more involved with your notebook, you're going to add more sections and more pages. So one way to fix this so it's a little more manageable, I mean, we could certainly put tons of pages in here, but maybe my team meetings occur monthly. So I have November, December, January, and February. Well, under team meetings, I could right-click, and I can make that a sub-page. And I can do the same thing with all these. Just right-click, make a subpage. And I have annual meeting here. Maybe I made that a subpage. Oh, by mistake, no problem. I can right-click, and I can promote that subpage. So we can promote and demote these. So this is a little bit better. And now this is one of the cooler features is when we hover over team meetings, I can actually collapse that. So this allows, and then I can see the little arrow. That's how I know there's additional information under it. I click, and I can see all that stuff. So each month, maybe I take different notes. Maybe I want annual meeting up here above staff meetings. Just drag and drop. Okay, OneNote makes it just so easy to move things around. That's one way to organize. Now let's also say we get a little bit excited up here with our sections. All right, I'm going to actually click the plus a few times, and they're just going to be generic new section 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, only so many can fit up here. You've only got so much real estate. If I click here, I start getting a vertical list. Okay, I don't really want that. I want to be able to see things a little bit more clearly. So what I'm going to do is right-click here and check this out. I could create a new section that way. That works as well. Or click the plus. But this is new section group. I like this. So I can actually go create a new section group, and maybe I'll call this personal. All right. Got that right there, and certainly I have a lot of things. I can drag and drop these right into there. So now I have this getting started is the name of my notebook, and I'm in personal. So I've put these sections in here, and I can go back and keep adding them. So I'm just going to do this very quickly so I can show you. I can always return with this little green arrow. Go back. Takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. So now this makes a little more sense. We've got a personal section. I could have a business one. I could have a team, colleagues one. Personal, maybe I want to take this one. I'm just going to drag it and drop it right there into personal. Okay, so now I've got these sections there. This is great. This is a great way to organize if you get, again, a little bit excited about making all these great sections and you just want to consolidate them a little bit. Right-click, new section group, name it, and then you can drag and drop things right in there. All right, so I like that a lot. I like being able to clean things up, and then I can organize and I can focus, and I think this is pretty cool. So just remember, right-click, section groups. So sometimes we could maybe delete something accidentally. So maybe I right-click on this and I delete it. So it says, are you sure you want to move the following section to this notebook's recycle bin contacts? So OneNote has its own recycle bin history. Here's my notebook recycle bin. Click, go in, And check it out, I've got some sections here. And these items are permanently deleted after 60 days, so just keep that in mind. Contacts, hover over this, and then I get to pick which notebook I want to send it to. So I could do my notebook if I had several different notebooks, or I can bring it back to my Getting Started notebook. Bring it right up there and place my contacts back. So if you delete something and it was an accident, you can always go get it again. Or if you deleted something and then you said, oh, you know, I really do want that in there, it's easy to just go into that notebook recycle bin. This is like the recycle bin on your computer, on your desktop, and you can go get it. So we've integrated OneNote a little bit with other applications, right? We went in, we sent that Word document to OneNote as a printer. The other thing is we can integrate with Outlook pretty easily. So I'm going to go to Home and maybe Tasks. So here I've created 2 tasks, and this is linking with my Outlook application. So I created a task called Submit Report, and then another one, Schedule Review. So if I right-click, look, this behaves very much like Outlook. So I'm actually going to open this task in Outlook, and here we go. I've got link to task in OneNote, and the file extension is .one or 1. So I could have a start date, an end date, it's due in 7 days, status, you know, just like we do in Outlook. And I'm going to save and close, and now that's actually in my Outlook as a task. So I've linked Outlook and I've linked OneNote so that they're working together in the background, and again, I can keep myself on track. Now, I could certainly email this page, and maybe I'm having a meeting and it has to do with new staff. So I'm going to scroll down here, and maybe I'll pop in this little meeting details section. So I set up an all-staff meeting in Classroom D today from 4 to 5. There we go. So I'm going to put this in John Keller's section here. So we've got a meeting subject, the date, location, and we have a link to the Outlook item, so I can click here, the invitation message, and these are the participants, and I can also add some notes here. So we're going to meet new staff, and you can see that the new staff members were invited to this meeting, and I'm student 1, and I've organized this meeting. So this is nice to have, you know, maybe right there in my OneNote notebook. So definitely give that a try. Try to integrate with other programs. It works really, really well. So let's see. I'm going to go back to meeting notes, and I'm going to go to staff meetings. So I've got today's agenda, got some discuss goals, go over new employee handbook, etc. Opportunity to share, get to know each other, things like that. And I just want to talk about hyperlinks. All right. So if I insert a link, I can use an external link. I could type in a web address, and or maybe link it out to a YouTube video or a TED Talks or something like that, and I can have text to display, or I could reach out and browse out to my network. But I can also pick a location in OneNote. So maybe I want to have the staff meetings have a link out to maybe this template example. Now this is really long. My text to display is, maybe I'll say check out this template. When I click OK, there it is. There's the link. I can certainly make that bigger if I wanted to, but if I click on it, I go right to that template example tab or section. And this is a quick and easy way to navigate very quickly and very easily within your notebook. So again, you can do external links, you can do internal links, you can link out to your network or a location on your computer. Remember, if it's on your local drive, that's going to be, you know, other people who are sharing this notebook aren't going to be able to get there. So you might want to put it out to somewhere on the cloud or on your network drive. So there we go. Check out this template, even though I had to drill way down to find that in the OneNote files and folders. It was very easy to do that. Next, I want to talk about sharing your notebook and collaborating. So one of the easiest ways to share your notebook with other people is to use OneDrive. That's a cloud-based storage solution from Microsoft, and share it in the cloud. So here in this case, just to make it easy, I'm signed in as student 1. So you'll see that at the top right-hand corner. I'm signed into my Microsoft account. I mean, right now I'm using OneNote 2013 and I'm using Windows 8. So what I'm going to do is click on File, and here we see the notebook, okay, the Getting Started one. I can share this on web or network. Okay, so the question somebody had earlier, can I do it on my network? Yes, you can. Click here. Now, I could put this on my personal OneDrive and move that notebook, or if I don't want it in personal, I could put it in a different folder on OneDrive if I'd like to. I can also add a place. So here I've set this up so if I wanted to, I could use my Office 365 SharePoint site, which actually, in a real-world example, this is what I do. I'll use SharePoint over OneDrive because that's based on my personal workflow. But anyway, for this example, I'm going to use OneDrive. So I could create a new notebook, let's say, and I'll call this Test Notebook. Move it just by clicking there, syncing these changes. Tells me my notebook is now syncing to the new location. So there we go. Now I get this other share option. Okay, I can invite people. I can get a sharing link. I can share with a meeting if I want, and I can move this notebook again. And also right now it's shared with me. I'm the only one who can use this. All right, so I could also go maybe back, and I've got this one, File, Share, and toggle back and forth that way. So I'm going to invite a couple people to this, maybe and I get to choose, can this person edit or can they just view it? I'm going to say edit, because that's me, and I'm going to type in, I've set you up. Just a little note. And I could require this user to sign in before accessing the document. I don't have to. And again, I can choose only view or edit and then click share. So when email is being sent out, let's pick somebody else. And I'll share. So I added John Keller. I could also add maybe Sheila. There she is. And I'm going to say, well, she can only view this. I could insert a message or not. And I can share. So I'm going to share that with her. So now this is showing John can edit, Sheila can view. Certainly I'm the owner. All right, maybe I want to right-click and I can change the permission here so Sheila can actually edit. Maybe I made a mistake, or maybe maybe I just wanted to change my mind. And John, maybe I can right-click and I can actually remove him as a user. Maybe he doesn't work for the company anymore. Maybe I don't want him to have access anymore. Okay, so that's some easy ways to share. Now I can get a sharing link as well and create a link to view or to edit. So if I just want someone to be able to check it out, I'll click Create Link, and I could send them this link. All right, so here it is, nice long link. I can share it with them, and they can access it. So we have Share with Meeting, we have Move Notebook. So that's just a quick look at how to share these. So now if I go back, we've got Test Notebook, and we've got My Notebook. Okay, so I'm going to go back here, and here's My Notebook. I can go to Settings, and I can actually sync this. So that notebook has been synced. Another thing that we can do is actually view sync status. So there we go. We can sync automatically whenever there are changes. Everything's up to date, except for this quick notes, which I'm not having sync at this time. But I can sync these manually if I want to, and they're going to be little red X's, and I can sync that one, and I can sync that one, or I can sync automatically. So we'll see that these are both up to date. And if I want to sync everything all at the same time, I just click Sync All. I like syncing automatically. I think it makes life a lot easier, especially when I'm maybe using my iPhone or something like that, or an iPad, and I just want to get in there and do that. So, great ways to share. Now, I'm just checking out one of the questions. If computer has OneNote 2010 and the home computer has OneNote 2013, will they still be compatible? Yes, they will, because the file extension is still the same. Okay, so you can still access those because the file extension is the same. It's .one, which is 1. And let's see here. Maybe I'm going to view. I'm just going to go back. Maybe I want to share or export. Check this out. So we can even use older extensions, but they're really the same extension. Okay, so a OneNote 2010 to 2013 section is an ONE, and so is a 2007. So if you do have an older version, that is going to work just fine. Okay, we had another question here. When you download OneNote on your iPad and start it, you log in, what credentials do you use? You would just use the same credentials you have to access your network. Okay, and if that's not working for you at work, I would recommend calling the help desk, but it's going to be the same credentials that you'd sign in maybe to Outlook or to your computer. All right, so there we go. I just wanted to show you how to share. It's really, really easy. All right, so I'm just going to click on share again and very quickly mention we can invite people, give them permissions. We can get a sharing link. People can view, people can edit. We can also sync manually, and we can sync automatically. So syncing is awesome. I really use this a lot. I love it. I think it's very easy to use, and other people like it as well because I've created these great notebooks and made it very easy for people to navigate around. Okay, so there you go. Deeper look into Microsoft OneNote. If anybody has any other questions, feel free to either chat in or type in questions. If you want to unshare a notebook, here, let me show you that. I just saw that question pop in. So I'm going to type in John Keller again, and I'm going to say he can edit, and I'll share, and I will show you what this looks like. So right now, I'm the owner. There's John Keller. I don't want to share it with him anymore. I want to unshare. I'm just going to right click. Okay, right click, and I can change their permission or I can simply remove them. Okay, so that's how we unshare a notebook. Right now, the way it is, I'm the owner, I'm the only one. Even though it's stored in the cloud, I'm the only one who can use that. Add one more person here. I'll add Sheila again. She can edit. I'll share with her. There it is. All right, so when I go back, we've got my notebook, we've got test notebook, and what you'll see when you start getting there is this little, let's see if I can get that back. It popped up for a sec. There's a little green icon right there. I'll go back here. And it lets me know, there it is. It just popped up very quickly. See that little green? Almost looks like recycling. That means it's synced. So there we go. Again, I can work on these alone as the owner, and I can also invite and uninvite people. Another question is that sharing link forever? No. You can actually create a sharing link, and right here is a disable link. So maybe I just want to share this for one particular meeting. I can send this out to my group and maybe let them only view it. And then when that meeting is over and I don't want them to do it anymore, I click on share, get sharing link, and then disable the link. And there we go. It's gone. Nobody can view it. Good question. So again, there you go. Definitely get in there, play around, create a notebook, try sharing it with people, see how things go. Of course, this was OneNote 2013, but you can certainly use 2010, and they're very, very similar. So I'll stick around for just a few more minutes if anybody has any additional questions, but everyone, thank you very much for listening in. I hope this was helpful for you, and thanks very much. Looks like we had another question. Can the link be forwarded by a recipient and still work? Yes, that link is going to work no matter what. So if you people want to share it, they can do that. If you do share it and allow people to publicly do that, you might want to just allow them to view it instead of edit it. I think that might be a little bit safer. But yeah, that link's going to work for anyone. It's just a link that's sent out, and it's going to send it right out as long as you've got it on the cloud. Okay, so something like SharePoint or OneDrive. That's a deeper look at Microsoft OneNote 2013.